Good morning.
Good morning.
Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are on your life's journey, you are welcome here. We are so happy that you've chosen this YouTube channel, this Sabbath, this sanctuary and time. We know that you have so many options on Sunday morning, and that you chose to be here is something we celebrate. We extend an especially warm welcome to our visitors and anyone who may be watching our service online for the first time. Please complete our Get in Touch online form by clicking the link below in our video description. We now invite everyone to greet each other in any way you possibly can. Elbows if you're here, and if you're joining us online, please say hi in the chat. And now we have a few announcements. Thank you.
We have, we have one announcement this morning from Miss Marjorie Rice.
Good morning. Okay, there's a lot of people in the church who find themselves in the same situation I'm in. My family's going to visit family some other place, so I will be alone on Thanksgiving. But we are going to have our Thanksgiving leftover Friday. So the doors will be open, so please bring your leftovers or whatever you wish to bring, and we'll just put them out. There'll be a lot of socializing, and I think it's a good way to end Thanksgiving. So 11:30, the doors will be open, and we will just welcome everybody, right? Okay, that's what we want. All right.
Our opening words today come from Lao Tzu, the author of the Tao Te Ching. He says, "If there is to be peace in the world, there must be peace in the nations. And if there is to be peace in the nations, there must be peace in the cities. If there is to be peace in the cities, there must be peace between neighbors. If there is to be peace between neighbors, there must be peace in the home. And if there is to be peace in the home, there must be peace in the heart." Come, let us be peaceful in our hearts today for this hour that we have together. Together we give thanks. Let us begin today with a thanksgiving to our great and beautiful earth. Please rise as you are willing and able for hymn number 21, For the Beauty of the Earth.
As Andre comes forward to light our chalice, we invite you to join us as we recite our covenant. Let us affirm that love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with one another. Each month, we as a community take time to reflect on a theme. The children do this in their classes, and we do it here in worship and in our small groups. This month, the theme is change. As I think about change, I can't help but think about the earth and how it changes around us right now, getting colder and darker with the change of seasons, but also the larger changes happening all across the world due to climate change. This scares me. My whole life, I have been watching and feeling the earth change in ways that I can't touch or stop or fully understand. But this does not mean that I am afraid of change. Instead, it makes me long for change, excited for the idea of how we could protect the earth if we're willing to change, away from fossil fuels, away from waste, and towards sustainability and community.
I'd like to invite the children to come up here with me for Time for All Ages. Neil, why's your bag so heavy, man?
I don't know, girl.
Seriously, why's your bag so heavy and like that?
Well, it's just full of lots of stuff. Emails, a big to-do list, music, junk food. dirty clothes, and my bag doesn't even hold the things in the world that really bother me.
Like what kind of things?
Capitalism, climate change, racism, transphobia.
That sounds like a lot. I need you to take care of yourself. Is there anything you can take out of your bag?
Well, I've made a really hard decision.
What's the decision, Neil?
It's to quit my job as music director here at SMUUCh.
I'm really sad. But I'm also happy if it's going to help you, relieve your bag a little bit.
That's right. I need to be the best version of Neil that I can be.
That sounds great, and that's all that we want for you. And it sounds like the things that you also want to be doing, like helping fight climate change, we do all that at SMUUCh.
That's right, and I still really want to come here and be a part of that work.
That's great, and it's not like the music is going to stop, right? I think I remember you making an announcement a couple weeks ago.
That's right, the music is not going to stop, and my friend, Dr. Kelly, is here as our new music director. Dr. Jen, this is Dr. Kelly. Dr. Kelly uses they, she pronouns.
Hi, Dr. Kelly. I'm Dr. Jen, and I use she, her pronouns. I'm so glad you're here, and it looks like you have a bag with you, too.
Dr. Kelly, what's in your bag?
Hi, thank you for inviting me here today. And since I'm going to be moving in, I suppose I should bring some of my own stuff to bring with me. So here, let's see, what do I have? I brought a lot of music because I suppose since I'm the music director, I'll have to, do this. This is important, and we'll look at this at some point, but that's not what I meant to show you today. Let's see, what else is in here?
More music.
More music. Oh, gosh, okay, well. We'll get to that at some point. Let's see. I brought this picture with me because it holds all the important things that are important to me, which is my family. So this is my partner, Emily, who's sitting right over there. And these are our 3 cats. This is Morris, Marietta, and Bonnie. And I know it doesn't look like it, but deep down in my heart, I know the cats were very happy to be in that photo with us. Let's see. You might be right. And I brought my favorite book, and this is my favorite book called The Alchemist. And I always find myself going back to reread this book when I feel like life is a little crazy, or if I'm going through a lot of changes that make me maybe not feel like myself. And so this book, when I read it, reminds me that as long as I stay true to who I am and I listen to the sounds of the universe, that I'm on my life's path. And then this last thing that I brought with me, I'm very excited to show you because I love to play games, whether it's board games, card games, video games. Any gamers out there? But one of my favorite games to play is bowling. And so I brought my bowling shoes. Raise your hand if you've been bowling. Anyone? Anyone? Okay, great. We should start a bowling league. But if you've been bowling, you know you have to wear special shoes, which is why I brought my shoes. And I would have brought my bowling ball named Bertha, but she was a little too heavy to bring in today. But these are all the things that I brought with me, and I'm so thankful you invited me to be here with you, and I can't wait to see what you would have in your bags to get to know you a little bit more.
Well, we are so glad you're here with us, Kelly, and we can't wait to get to know you in the coming weeks. Thank you. And at this time, I would like to invite the children to come with me to their classrooms.
this is the time in our order of service that we set aside to draw into our hearts and mind those in our midst who are suffering and those who feel the sweet relief of their burdens easing. I invite you to put your feet flat on the floor. You can close your eyes, put your hands in your lap, coming into a space of intentional awareness. Let us come into a space of openness around the complexities and histories of the upcoming holiday Thanksgiving. Remembering and lifting up the legacy of grief and dislocation from the land that has led us slowly and circuitously to this point of our climate change and global dissonance. We are in solidarity with communities who have been dislocated, casualties of humanity's at times short-sighted or finite lack of imagination for how we could be in relationship with each other, how we could coexist with our kith and kin. We extend our hearts to all who have been displaced by climate change or have lost livelihood and wellness due to the destruction of our beautiful and bountiful earth. We offer thanks to all who are turning towards prophetic new ways now, who are open and willing to make shifts in our everyday lives, to join our entanglements and join the web of our collective relationship with the globe, rebuilding ourselves as earthlings, as one of innumerable species in a vast web of biodiversity. We give thanks for our interdependent web of life, and as we gather with or without our families this week, let us lift up our gratitude also for the ecology of our own families' histories. Let us remember, wherever we go, that we walk upon the earth, and together as a globe, let us untangle ourselves from the relationships that no longer serve the longevity and sustainability of the earth. As we come together to feast upon her bounty, let us remember and think of the earth. Even in the midst of change, we always rejoice over the exquisite beauty of this world, as small or life-changing as each piece of beauty may be. And now I invite you to come forward and briefly share in 2 to 3 sentences a rare joy or a profound sorrow and light a candle.
Good morning. I'm Betsy Edmonds, and I'm lighting a candle of joy for my partner and best friend, John, who will turn 81 this Wednesday. And John, I'm excited to share your next trip around the sun.
My name is Jenny Ashby, and I'm lighting a candle a long-time member, I think he still considers himself a member, Mike Bainham. I know a lot of you are wondering what has happened to Mike since his wife Marta died a few months ago. And as we have a spare candle, I'll light one in Marta's memory also. I'm sad to say that Mike is not doing well, and he is in memory care and is not handling that very well. So Marta's brother is trying to deal with everything, and it's really an unfortunate situation. And if we were in a Christian church, I'd say pray for him, but as I'm not, just remember him and think positive thoughts that maybe he can have a little bit more meaningful life.
Hello, I'm Brian Nelson, and I have a candle to light for George Langworthy, longtime member. He turned 91 yesterday. This is a candle of a birthday recognition for George Langworthy.
Hello, my name is Ed Dolan, and I am here to offer a light of celebration and remembrance for my wife Helen, who died, whose first anniversary is in a couple of days. To Helen.
I have 2 candles to light for people who could not be here. The first is for Erin, the sister of Micah Rose, who is our kids club teacher. Erin is on life support, and so I invite you to think of her and her family as they try to make sure her kids understand and are well during their holiday break. The second candle is for Rick and Vanita Witzel. Vanita is also on life support right now, so keep her and Rick in your thoughts. And then I light the remaining candles for all the joys and sorrows that remain unspoken in the silent sanctuaries of our hearts. I invite you once more to put your feet flat on the floor, close your eyes. Because today we speak of gratitude and family, our deepest entanglements in this world, the earth, our friends, food, all that juicy, good stuff. I invite you to take 5 deep breaths. With each breath, thinking as I breathe in, I receive. As I breathe out, I offer. Coming into a space of groundedness, I invite you to draw into your heart and mind someone in your midst who you know who is suffering. I invite you to try on the idea that you would invite the earth itself into your heart today. I will read a reading, which is a prayer from my colleague, Reverend Matthew Johnson, who asks us today to join him in a prayer of lament. Spirit of leaves and soil, spirit of water and fire and air, power that connects us to all that was, is, and will be. We come to you with sorrow in our hearts and grief. Our hearts break for the damage done. The lives of plants and animals and fungi that are already lost, and those whose future is bleak. We weep in sorrow for these losses, and we confess that we are caught in networks and webs of hurt and exploitation. We have tried to do what we can, and we know it is not enough. And so we confess to our so-called independence and plea for our hearts to turn towards intra-dependence, to remind us that we are more than connected. We are one ecological system with all that is. We know that many mourn with us and rage with us, but we also know that love is larger than any separation. And yet we weep at the loss of our homeland, and we know that many weep along with us. Spirit of all, join our lament in our confession that we as a globe, as an interconnected web, can turn towards wellness. As one final prayer of gratitude, I invite you to draw into your mind's eye a gift you have received from the earth. It may be the very breath you're breathing now. It may be food, maybe your life itself. Please remain seated for our meditative hymn, From You I Receive.
Our reading today comes from U.S. Poet Laureate Joy Harjo. To open your whole self, to sky, to earth, to sun, to moon, to one whole voice that is you, and know there is more that you can't see, can't hear, can't know, except in moments steadily growing, and in languages that aren't always sound, but other circles of motion. Like eagle that Sunday morning over Salt River, circled in blue sky, in wind, swept our hearts clean with sacred wings. We see you, see ourselves, and know that we must take the utmost care and kindness in all things. Breathe in, knowing we are made of all this, and breathe knowing we are truly blessed, because we were born and die soon within a true circle of motion, like eagle rounding out the morning inside us. We pray that it will be done in beauty, in beauty.
Did you know that the ozone layer is healing? At the rate it's going now, by the year 2060, it is on track to be closed, all because there was a global agreement in 1987 to ban the chemicals which were eating away at that perfect bubble, which encases our planet in safety, protecting us from the harshness of outer space. Now, this agreement must have been made from a shared global longing for mutual flourishing, a turning towards intradependence, an acknowledgement that our entanglements are bright, that the web that is all of life is also at times as dangerous as a spider's web, which is her tool of death. This has been made abundantly clear to us recently in many ways, one being the pandemic, in which our individual survivals have become wrapped up in the caution of others, reminding us that together our webs are pulled along with the whole wherever the masses go, be it towards our great lament, be it towards a flourishing. In fact, this metaphor of the web is one of the central religious images as imagined in Indra's net. Indra's net is a great imagined idea of the universe in which at each intersection of the web there hangs a shimmering, gleaming jewel that reflects every single other jewel. Like a mirror in the eye of every other living being that reflects to us our own beautiful aliveness, reminding us that we do rely on each other in order to mutually flourish. To you I give, from you I receive. What we do to the other, we do to ourselves. A deep intradependence. In the Unitarian Universalist Association's Article 2 Study Commission, which sounds dry but is actually highly recommended by me, in their first official draft, catch it before it becomes second official draft, it offers love as our central Unitarian Universalist value, saying love is the enduring force that holds us together. Love inspires and powers passion with which we embody our values. But what is love, y'all? How do we define love? What does it mean for us to hold love as a value? What does it mean when we say we love the earth or that the earth loves us back? What does it really mean for us to experience a divine love? Know that we are loved or sense that our loving is a miracle? What does it mean for us to give and receive love really? And what tells us that it is indeed love? To get a little bit closer to this question around what love truly is, I'd like our slide deck operator, Chris Ediger, to please change the slide. This is a photo of a man who's in that tiny little boat. His name is Jay O'Hara, and he is a Quaker activist. And then his little boat is called the Henry David T. And he's parked his little boat right in front of the Energy Enterprise, that massive ship. And is this, in any way, an act of love? He was interviewed about it. The interviewer asked Jay if he was still working for social change in the conventional sense. Was he building a social and political movement? And Jay said, "I don't think that gets deep enough for what I'm after." He said, "I believe it's time for a new world, for the revealing of a new way of being in the world, of our relation to the earth and to each other." The interviewer asked, "What's going to unleash these powerful forces?" And Jay said, "Love." The interviewer said, "And what's going to unleash the love? A movement? A climate catastrophe?" Jay said, "I don't know, but I do know that the love and commitment of communities of resistance who are prophetic in their relationship with the existing world, who live into that world as faithfully as they can, not knowing where they're going to end up, but knowing that the root is love, that's the only force powerful enough to confront what we have to confront." Communities who are prophetic in their relationship with the existing world, not knowing where they're going to end up, but knowing that the root is love, that's the only force powerful enough to confront what we have to confront. This question, what is love? We will all be confronting it at the microcosm of the Thanksgiving table as well. It's a microcosm of what we must confront internally in our families of origin, which is our kin. What does it mean to love our families? What does it mean to love them from afar, love them close? What does it mean to acknowledge our entanglement with our families, our chosen families too? But this is also about our kith. You know, when we think of the definition of kith, we often think of friends. But actually, the word kith is derived from an Old English word which means one's native land. So when we gather with our kith and kin, it means that we are gathering with our families and celebrating our native land. Of course, this question of native land is then the macrocosm on Thanksgiving when it comes to what it means to give and receive love from one's native land here in the context of the United States of America. Thus, I invite us to remember that part of what it means to visit with our kith on Thanksgiving is to do some deeper work around a legacy of death-dealing systems that have been disseminated across the globe. And that all those sacred, shimmering webs of life that were torn and ripped along the way and continue to be shredded how they are our great lament, and allowing that to be part of our relationship to the land this Thanksgiving. Eco-theologian Sally McFaig says that relationality is more basic than just existence. It's not I think, therefore I am, it's I relate, therefore I am. She says that faith is the willingness to lead a totally interdependent life, receiving life from others and from the divine and passing that life along. That it is perhaps not what we are in love with, but how. Was it then an act of love when the leaders of our globe agreed to ban a harmful chemical? And if so, are all prophetic acts of communities in relationship with the earth acts of divine love? Humanity stepping into the fullness of our role? Is it, as we have heard, that love will guide us, that it is love that will save us? And if so, I will share with you a definition of love that speaks to me. I think that love itself, as it applies to human relationships, as it applies to divine love and the love of the earth, can be defined as mutual flourishing. That when you love something, you are involved with mutual flourishing. You want it and yourself and all others to flourish. That to love something is to understand that to you I give and from you I receive, and that together we are one. 2, as Wendell Berry advises us, put your faith in the 2 inches of hummus that will build under the trees every 1,000 years. But not just to put your faith in that, to also adopt a posture in ourselves where we can mutually flourish with those 2 inches of hummus, and in turn be loved by the earth, to be held in a web of mutuality, to allow not just humans to survive and thrive on this beautifully rich planet, but for all life to continue and flourish. I wonder, where are you in your climate despair? Are you able to root down into your love of the earth, or is it too complicated right now? Are you able to be compassionate towards those who display maddening and willful ignorance and profit from planetary destruction? Are you able to find compassion for those? Is there a sense in your mind of a path forward of how to repair, how to be in relationship with other humans in a way that really benefits the earth? Are you able to connect these days as struggles and destruction and callousness and loss are apparent at many turns? In his essay, Living with Environmental Despair, Roger Gottlieb says, avoidance and denial are psychological states that are emotionally exhausting and a betrayal of any serious moral identity. He says that given the limitations on what we can know about the future, such anxiety is a permanent feature of our collective predicament. What is called for then is perhaps neither hope nor hopelessness, but courage to live with fear. And I would say not just to live with fear, but to continue loving within the fear, to fight towards mutual flourishing in all that which is in your web, which is everything. As close or as distant as those creatures may be. The people who sit beside you at the dinner table, those whose lives were wrenched from their kith and kin, whose complicated and distant stories of times gone past have made yours possible. Or maybe even imagining a tiny violet on the rock face, the sea creatures, an insect, the bacteria, the jewels who reflect to you your life, giving to you, receiving from you. Teaching us what it means to truly love, to move out of the avoidance and denial, and instead to move bravely. Join in communities who are being prophetic in their connectivity, who are open to the interdependence, not just as a scientific reality, but as that enduring force that holds us together. Because indeed the earth can heal, and there can be thriving. And perhaps there is a stance that we humans must take where we see our role shifting to a love for kith and kin, our earth, and our people, which inspires and empowers passion to live into the fullness of our humanity in this great, incredible web. Blessed be, and amen.
The work of the church depends on us, our generosity of time, wisdom, and financial resources. We invite you to give generously to support the ongoing work of the church. The offering will now be given and received in grateful appreciation of our shared values. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry with us in our hearts until we are together again.
To end our service today, because climate change is very scary for all of us, I'm going to invite us into a little shout, okay? Who here can shout? Yeah, we all can. Okay. Only thing you have to say is shout, yes! Okay? Ready? Do you love the earth? Yes! Go in peace.